Very exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And we're here at the Papergoy home studio. Yet again.
So many different names of this building.
There really are. Well, it depends on whether we're at the live show, whether we're here, what we're doing. And you were just mentioning before the show over here that you look a little bit tired.
I think I do. Unless it's your monitor. Is it one of those age monitors that makes you look older?
That's it. Yes, it's a prank monitor. I did that.
Very cool.
So it brings up a question that maybe a lot of newer eBayers don't know the answer to. I know any long-term eBayers would definitely know. But how many hours a week do you work?
I mean, it's got to be like 90. I think we figured it out because especially since before last Christmas, I started getting up at 2:30, 7 days a week. I used to sleep in like till 3 or 4 on weekends.
Oh, man, you had it.
But I got accustomed to the orders coming in, and if I got up at 2:30, now mind you, on Mondays we get up at 1. I get up at 1:30 to meet you on Mondays. But other than that, so you got Tuesday through Sunday, 2:30, and then because of the orders were so heavy at Christmas, I would just work straight through the day. I was exhausted, obviously. I would work till 5, 6 o'clock, get home. But then when orders got a little lighter, my body was used to getting up at 2:30. So if orders are a little lighter, I might be able to take an hour nap or so in between bringing my kid to school at 7 o'clock.
Well, the reason I'm asking that is because I know that a good friend of the channel, Don Auction Professor, suggests that people keep track of their time. He suggests that more to make sure you're not wasting time. You watch, 15 minutes bleed away here, 20 minutes bleed away here, there. Yeah. And that's definitely very true. But my point is you'll see a lot of other people. I've seen less of it now, but I saw a lot of it heading into the holidays. I'm going to call them the gurus for lack of a better way to put it, who would sit there and tell you how easy it is to make money, how they're making all this money, and you take their course, you'll make lots and lots of money. And they're selling pipe dreams, generally speaking, because there really is nothing beyond work. I mean, that is really what the job comes down to. Yeah. In no ways is it easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for you because you've got a lot of employees to manage.
Sure.
I have the benefit of not managing the employees, but the other side of things, let me ask you a question, and I don't mean to put you on the spot because that's not at all what our show is about. When's the last time you listed an item? Exactly.
I'm not kidding, but I don't know which Bush was in office, to be honest with you. It's one or the other, one of them two.
Yeah, so you've got advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
But either way, we both figure out how to work a lot of hours. Now, I've got the day job taking up 40 hours a week, but I'm still putting in another 40 to 50 hours on selling online as well. And everybody knows and loves Random Neighborhood Kid, or at least they know him. And one thing that I've told him all the way through, because he's getting set to head off into life, is 40 hours a week is fine. You can live a satisfactory, somewhat comfortable life at 40 hours a week. Mm-hmm. You can make it. Let's put it that way. You can make it at 40 hours a week. But you're not going to be overly successful at 40 hours a week. I'm sorry to break it to you. And that goes for selling online as well as anything else. It just requires more than that. It just simply does. And I want to go back in the Wayback Machine for a couple of minutes here. Do you remember? Nope. Do you remember 12, 15 years ago, maybe even longer than that now, 17, 18 years ago, you thought you worked hard? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, it was, I think, before my dad passed away. So about 15 years ago.
And do you remember what I used to always tell you?
Yeah, I don't work hard enough. I work hard, but not hard enough.
Yep, and that's absolutely true. And I think now looking back, I think you would admit that.
Sure.
You are a lot more successful than you were at that point. Now, there's a lot of different reasons for it, but you're a lot more successful. You took some chances that I never would have taken, I will readily admit. But you also have put in all of those hours. Right. So to somebody new that's out there, what advice would you give them as far as time? as far as the eBay and Amazon and time.
I'm not saying it gets easier the longer you do it, but it gets better. Your knowledge, your experience. So, you'll go to these wherever events you want to go to, estate sales, church sales, and the more you know, the more you're going to buy, the more you're going to sell, the smarter you'll become. I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm way smarter now. I'm more selective now. I'm, better buys now than I was a year, 2, 3, 5 years ago. Sure, there's some I may take a chance with and lose out, but in the grand scheme of things, or even break even, but in the grand scheme of things, in the course of a 365 days in a year, I'm making money. So if I have 2 bad deals, but I have 112 good deals, it's all part of the game. It's at the end of the day, we're making money.
I remember, and we're going back to 2002, 2003, something or other like that. I was at a sale, and I found one of those self-help books. But here's the best part about it. I bought the self-help book, paid $1 for it.
Okay.
Read it. Sold it for like $8. So that's a win-win.
Yeah.
But one thing I remember out of that book that has stuck with me throughout all these years, you've got competition, and when you think you've done enough and you're set to go to bed, you're set to shut down the computer, list one more item. Do one more thing, because your competition just turned the computer off. And if you do one more thing, you've done a little more than they have today. Yeah. And if you have that mindset that you can always just do one more thing, and I'll find myself puttering around, I've got to head out the door at 8:00 and it's 7:55 and I'm waiting for random neighborhood kid to get ready. I'm listing one last item. I'm sorting a couple of things by date just because it'll make the job easier later. Right before we came on air, just before you pulled up, I literally was running into the basement to pack one item so we could get out today as opposed to waiting till tomorrow. So there's always that one extra thing you can do. And while a lot of people are going to fritter it away, just, going between 57 channels and nothing on, you can actually be using that time wisely. And that will give you a great advantage over all of your competition. But it's not going to be easy. I hate to break it to you. And if you've come to us after watching all these gurus and you say, oh, they're rolling in money, driving their Lambo and not doing any work, that's not really the way that it works. But if you put the time in and you're willing to learn, you definitely will do well for yourself. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there with some real actual numbers. We each put in 90 hours a week. I've got a couple of friends in the private sector that are putting in the same number of hours. So it's not unusual to be putting in that sort of hours in order to really make it in the world. So hopefully that helps you. Like I said, 40 hours is okay to survive. But if you want anything beyond that, you got to put in the extra time. Why not do it online? Because you can be your own boss. Well, you can't. You got other people to boss around. But,
right.
But you can be your own boss. You can... I don't want to say work on your own schedule, but you kind of can, because eBay's a 24-hour thing.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get up at 2:00 in the morning, like I did this morning, and start working and listing, you can. If you want to stay up till midnight, you can be working all the way through. So that's the beauty of it, but you're going to have to put the hours in order to make the money out. We will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.